And welcome to Hannity. We are reporting live tonight from Tucson, Arizona. So in just 4 short days, former President Trump and Nikki Haley, they will square off in the South Carolina Republican primary. And according to the polls, President Trump, well, he holds a commanding lead. A new Suffolk poll shows him leading Nikki Haley by 28 points in her home state, now bringing his lead now in the Real Clear Politics average to over 25. Now, it would be natural for things to tighten in the days leading into any primary. That's common. Now, despite facing a huge deficit in her home state, Nikki Haley delivered a speech earlier today announcing she will not be dropping out of this race anytime soon. So far, Governor Haley has been struggling versus the former president after coming in third in Iowa, losing by double digits in New Hampshire, and losing to the option, quote, none of these candidates by more than 30 points in Nevada. Well, the pressure's certainly on the former governor in her home state. Now, a fair question must be asked. If she doesn't win her home state on Saturday, or if she even loses by double digits, where does she see a path to the nomination? Certainly, the pressure is on Governor Haley tonight. But despite an enormous lead in the polls, President Trump continues to campaign vigorously. And earlier tonight, he sat down with our very own Laura Ingraham for a town hall in South Carolina. Now, the two covered a number of topics, including a possible surprise campaign strategy based off a shocking new poll. Watch this.
You may campaign in the Bronx or at Madison Square Garden. When might that be happening?
Very soon. Look, we have 9 months yet, but I'm going to see about Madison Square Garden, and we're going to go to the South Bronx, and we're going to go to Queens and other areas, because if you look at what's happened in New York, I'm not even blaming the mayor. I think the mayor has sort of been told to take a back seat a little bit because they came after him violently. You know, they came after him like they're going to indict him when he started speaking up, and now he's become quiet. These are fascists we're dealing with. They're terrible people. And so I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying we have 400, 500,000 migrants, illegal migrants in New York on Madison Avenue. They're sleeping on Madison Avenue. They're sleeping on Fifth Avenue. It's horrible what's going on. I think there's a chance to win New York. The people are very, very unhappy.
Now, we'll have more on that New York poll in just a moment. And as the left continues to pursue their endless witch hunts, Laura did ask the former president if he's worried about becoming a political prisoner. Here's what he said.
We are turning into a communist country in many ways. And if you look at it, I'm the leading candidate. I got indicted. I never heard of being indicted before. I got indicted 4 times. I have 8 or 9 trials, all because of the fact that and you know this, all because of the fact that I'm in politics. They indicted me on things that are so ridiculous.
Do you see yourself as a potential political prisoner in the United States, because that's their goal, is to put you in jail behind your bars, right, for the rest of your life?
If I were losing in the polls, they wouldn't even be talking about me, and I wouldn't have had any legal fees.
If you had retired from politics, would all these cases?
If I were out, I think, although they hate me so much, I think if I got out, they'd still, let's pursue this guy. We can't stand this guy.
And while Trump continues to surge, well, Joe Biden's struggles, they're only growing more apparent. Now, earlier today, when walking up the small stairs, not the big stairs onto Air Force One, well, he once again appeared to stumble before actually catching himself. Now, despite the obvious struggles, according to one New York Times publisher, the White House is, quote, extremely upset with the paper's coverage of Biden's age and unpopularity. Does the Biden White House really expect even their willing accomplices, their allies in the media mob, do they really expect them to ignore what are the obvious daily struggles of what is a very weak, frail, and cognitively compromised president? Is that what they expect? Now, unfortunately for the White House, Biden's failures and free-falling poll numbers cannot be hidden. Now, according to a new Monmouth survey, Biden's approval rating is an unmitigated disaster, with just 38% of respondents now approving of Joe and the job he's done as president. And when you dive into those numbers, well, it only gets worse. On the issue of inflation, which, as all of you know, has been one of the cornerstones of, quote, Bidenomics, well, running completely out of control since he took office. Only 34% approve of his job performance. And after dealing with the fallout of his open borders policy for over 3 years, which has wreaked nothing but havoc across every corner of our country, Well, just 26% approve of his performance on the issue of immigration, but he's still blaming Trump. What a joke. But perhaps most alarming for the Biden campaign is a new poll out of deep blue New York, my former home state, which shows Joe up just 12 points on Donald Trump, receiving under 50%. This is one of the most liberal states in the country. Now, this is a state that Joe Biden won by well over 20 points in 2020, securing over 60% of the vote at the time. So what does all of this mean for Joe Biden as the 2024 campaign cycle now heats up? No, it's certainly not good. A Gallup report from last Friday, it says political and economic indicators, they are, quote, not promising for Biden. That's stating the obvious. In fact, the report goes on to say, well, presidents with approval ratings of 50% or higher close to Election Day, they've all been reelected. All but one president with a sub 50% approval rating lost. So in the last Gallup poll from January, well, what was Joe's approval rating there? Well, it was 41%, not even close to 50. So with Biden's poll numbers continuing to plummet, alarm bells, they are sounding out for Democrats. It's like you got alarms going, 24/7, and frankly, rightfully so. And yet another bad omen for Biden. Well, you have 538's Nate Silver. He wrote a pretty scathing piece about the Biden campaign yesterday, saying in part, quote, he's losing now, and there's no plan to fix the problems other than hoping that the polls are wrong. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.